You're watching CHCO-TV's gavel-to-gavel coverage of the December 2023 regular council meeting for the Municipality of Eastern Charlotte. I'm Florence Mitchell. In today's meeting, under Old Business, Planning Fees Bylaw EC-10 will have its third and final reading by title, and Blacks Harbor Bylaw Z.2.3, Amendment to the Rural Plan, will have a date for public hearing set. Finally, surplus assets will be discussed. Under New Business, Council will make resolutions to transfer funds from the General Operating Fund to the General Operating Reserve Fund and from the Utility Operating Fund to the Utility Operating Reserve Fund. Council will also make resolutions regarding the 2024 budget presentation, general operating budget and warrant, the non-residential and heavy industrial tax ratio, and the utility budgets and water and sewage systems fee and charges for St. George and Blacks Harbor. Finally, Policy 05-2023 regarding municipal buildings and spaces will be discussed. Now let's join Council at Macadavic Place in St. George.
Okay, we'll call the meeting to order tonight at 7 p.m. here at Macadavic Place. Good evening and welcome to the December 2023 regular council meeting for Eastern Charlotte Council. I'll look at this point for adoption of the agenda tonight. I need a motion on the floor for that. Councillor Tidd. Second by Councillor Lee. Question or comment on the motion? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. And that's passed unanimously. 3 is the disclosure of conflict of interest. Anybody wants to disclose that? And now's your opportunity. 4 is adoption of minutes of previous council meetings. I'm looking for a motion for, I guess, November the 15th. Okay, okay. Sorry, I gotta look up. Councillor McKay, and second by Councillor Lee. Question or comment on the minutes of November the 15th? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Contrary, and that's passed unanimously. November 21st, I need a motion for that one. Councillor Tidd, seconded by Councillor Thompson. Question or comment on the motion? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Contrary, and that's passed unanimously. 4C is November the 28th, special meeting of council. Looking for a motion to adopt those minutes. Councillor McQuarrie. Seconded by Councillor Thompson. Question or comment on the motion? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. That's passed unanimously. December the 5th. I'm looking for a motion to adopt the minutes of December the 5th. Councillor McQuarrie. Second by Councillor Thompson. Question or comment on that? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. December the 12th. Closed door meeting of council. Looking for a motion to adopt the minutes of December the 12th. Councillor Lee. Second by Councillor Thompson. Question or comment on the motion? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. And it's passed unanimously. December the 13th. Special meeting of council. Looking for a motion to adopt the minutes of December the 13th. Councillor McQuarrie. Second by Councillor Thompson. Question or comment on the motion? Oh, Councillor Dedrick.
Yeah, so this is for the public hearing for the draft bylaw EC-10, planning fee bylaw. There was one comment that we received from a resident, but there wasn't, I missed the meeting. What was it? Oh yeah, it just says we received one comment from a resident, but it doesn't actually say what the comment was.
Yeah, we don't have that listed what the actual comment was. Do you want some?
Do you know what they said? Because I think we're discussing this evening, aren't we? Yes.
The comment was from President Raymond Hall.
Okay.
And I believe it was him thanking us for being on the PrAC and something related to the PrAC. It wasn't really a comment on the actual fees.
Okay, so there was no comments on the hearing.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was there and he commented during the comment portion of the hearing, but yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Which meeting was that, December 12th or 13th?
13th. Yes, 13th.
13th, we were, okay. So I need okay, we had, that was question or comment. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Contrary, and that's passing unanimously. That brings us to this December 20th. I need a motion to adopt those minutes. Deputy Mayor? Second by Councillor McKay. Question or comment on the motion? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. And that's passed unanimously. December the 27th, another meeting of council. I need a motion to adopt those minutes. Councillor Tidd, seconded by Councillor Lee. Question or comment on the motion? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. That's passed unanimously. Okay, 5 is business arising out of the minutes. I don't think there's anything there. Delegations are none. Department reports. General government report tonight. I'll go to Jason on that.
Thank you, Your Worship. Just general government report for the month of November. The finance team has completed work pertaining to the draft of the 2024 budget. Two properties under dangerous and unsightly bylaw were enforced over the last month, with demolition taking place of 2 burnt-out homes, one in Penfield and one in Caithness. The arena work continues on upgrading it to the arena, slow working through upgrades to lighting and electrical, just mostly with vendors and contractors. Additional work slated over the next month includes lower level renovations in the downstairs recreation lobby, installation of the heat in the arena entrance, rain gutters on the side entrance, and exterior lighting upgrades at the back of the building. Three of the five Day Adventure Center buildings were successfully sold, just awaiting their removal, and the remaining 2 buildings, the larger 2 buildings in the back, will be open to offers. And that's general government.
Okay. That brings us to the Building and Planning Southwest New Brunswick. I don't think they're here tonight, so we'll move on. Fire report. I'll go to Councillor Thompson.
For this month, Eastern Charlotte Fire Rescue had a total of 16 calls. With this latest power outage, I'd like to thank everyone for working together, from welfare checks to heating different houses to manning the fire stations through the power outage. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Thompson. Any questions on that? If not, we'll move on to the, what's the next one? Public Works, Councillor McClory.
I'd like to submit the reports as written there, and thank you to all the workers for all the work they did over the lousy weather and conditions that we had.
Great, thank you. Any questions on that, Councillor Dedorakis?
It's for the St. George Public Works report. It says underwater that there's an ongoing issue with well 6. There's an unusual amount of manganese in the water that's causing the chlorine injector lands to clog up periodically. Is there anything that we can do to prevent this?
No, it's just that's magnesium levels just are natural within the water table. So just monitoring them, making sure that the diodes are cleaned as part of the regular maintenance. So it does sometimes happen, they do clog up, but I usually try to catch it with maintenance.
Okay, perfect, thank you.
Okay. Other committee reports tonight? Any other committee reports tonight?
I have one for recreation.
Yeah, Councillor.
So I first off want to say thank you to all the linesmen, MB Power guys, contractors, Eastern Charlotte Fire Rescue, and obviously Eastern Charlotte staff, because I know this last week's been a busy and challenging week, and I know that it's been a difficult subject at times, but I mean, by the end of the week and moving into Christmas, most people all have their power back. So I mean, you got to remember all these volunteers that were here doing wellness checks. Most of them had families too that they were away from. So it's great, and I appreciate that. But on the better note of, the lighter note before the big power outage, so fires in the month of December. So we have made it in December. That's 12 months of Eastern Charlotte. So we've been together now for 12 consecutive months as this team. November the 30th to December 30, we hosted our very first, as Eastern Charlotte, kickoff of Christmas. It was something that I was very passionate about of bringing back as being a recreation chair this year, and I also wanted to unite our community as one. I think it was greatly appreciated, all the help and staff that was been there, Eastern Charlotte Fire Rescue of helping with it, and the many volunteers that made this a great success. We began that with a tree lighting at the Day Adventure Center. We served hot chocolate and chocolate chip cookies that were from the kitchen restaurant. We purchased Christmas stuff, a teddy that the YMCA helped the children stuff. On December 1st, there was live music here at the McAdavid Center. Local musicians and Community Kitchen was here with a canteen. Saturday, we continued with a Christmas parade, which was very well attended. Both sides of the road were full. It was lovely to see all the kids' faces. We had 23 floats, and it was followed by Santa. On Saturday, December the 2nd, we began a Christmas market at the McAdavid Center and a breakfast canteen by Eastern Charlotte Community Kitchen. Saturday evening was a reverse parade. It was sponsored by Keith's Building Supplies, which I want to say thank you for all the help that they've done with this reverse parade as well. There was 212 voters. Sunday, December the 3rd, we finished the weekend off with a skate with Santa and friends. The Grinch made an appearance, as well as Sparky the Fire Dog. I would like to extend a huge thank you to CCM Towing and Recovery, without hesitation assisted in bringing the Christmas tree, and most of all, bringing Santa into the parade for us. If you read the sign on CCM truck, it said, "Saves Christmas." And I thank you, Mikey, for helping us. We do have one more event at the end of the year, and that would be before the last council meeting, obviously, it got delayed, would have been the Christmas Eve that was in Blacks Harbor on Sunday. Santa will be arriving at the park, which he did. We went to the nursing home and handed out treats, and Santa was able to go and talk to the residents. And even if they were in the rooms, we still made sure that Santa made it to every one of their rooms to say Merry Christmas. Over the Christmas holidays, the Patrick Connors Recreation Complex has many ice times for free skating, pucks for sticks. The times are posted on our Eastern Charlotte Parks and Rep page. And as 2023 comes to a close, I would like to say thank you to Eastern Charlotte administration staff, Public Works, Recs Department, Fire Department, the volunteers, and everyone that have gone above in making this our first year of success. I also would like to thank every councillor that's at this table and the mayor also being part of our team. This was our first year as Eastern Charlotte. Yes, has there been bumps and bruises? Yes. But have we done work on ball fields? Have we done work at arenas? Have we done work at many different basketball courts and different parks in the area? Yes, we have. And a lot of people don't realize that that has gone on. And we wouldn't have that without this team. So each one of you, I just want to say thank you, and we will continue to make improvements. Just remember, this was only year one. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Hatt. That brings us to 8, which is the financial statement. I look for a motion to accept. Did you want to talk about the financial statement? If not, I'm going to look for a motion to accept the financial report for November 2023. No, Councilor Lee. Seconded by Thompson, Councilor Thompson. Question or comment on the motion? All those in favor of to accept the financial report for November 2023 signify by saying aye. Contrary, and that's passed unanimously. 9 is old business. Bylaw EC-10, planning fees bylaw. I look for a motion to accept the third and final reading by title only of bylaw EC-10, the planning fees bylaw. I need a motion for that. Councillor McKay.
I move that council accept the third and final reading by title only of bylaw EC10, planning fees bylaw.
Okay. Thank you, Councilor McKay. Seconded by Councilor McCrory. Question or comment on the motion? Councilor Dederakis?
Where's the? What was that? Do we have the rates on the? Where in our booklet is the rates
Those would have been distributed
before?
before, yeah.
What was I going to say? So we are, like, they're proposing to make it so St. George, for example, we currently pay $0 for zoning and rezoning permit, correct? Why don't we make all of Eastern Charlotte at the same rate as St. George, for example? Don't we already pay the service commission for these fees?
Yeah, we do, and the revenue collected from the permits comes back to Eastern Charlotte. So it wouldn't stay with the service commission. This would be much like selling like a dog tag or anything like that.
But aren't we like double paying though? Like we're still paying, like the residents are still paying though. Does that make sense?
They would be, yes. They'd be
Yeah.
paying for the services of the service commission to do the administrative duties, and but there is a cost to permitting. Having everything free is just, you know, if you look across what's happening across the country, there's few municipalities that are offering free zoning confirmations. There's always a cost associated with that. If not, you'd just be inundated with people making requests all the time for, you know, a zoning confirmation. So
Okay.
you have to have some sort of a fee to prevent it. There is some work that's entailed with it, but all that work is covered with our fees with the Service Commission. It just, again, would be any type of extra revenue for the municipality.
And those fees are comparable to other municipalities?
Yep. So that base that we have, like the $100 for a zoning confirmation, is much like what's happening with the other RSCs within RSC 10.
Okay. Perfect, thank you.
Okay, any other questions or comments? If not, all those in favor of a third and final reading of EC-10 signify by saying aye. Aye. Contrary, and that's passed unanimously. I declare that the final reading of bylaw EC-10. 9B is the Black Sabre bylaw Z.2.3, the amendment to the rural plan rezoning, PID number 1516671. That is the old village hall in Black Sabre, I believe. Am I right?
Yeah, Your Worship, we're looking to set a public hearing date so this rezoning application can be heard, and we're at the location for the Stella Maris in Black's Harbor, which is the site of the rezoning. So the available date is January the 24th at 6:30 in Black's Harbor, Stella Maris Hall.
Okay, I need a motion to set the date and location for the public hearing of bylaw Z.2.3, the amendment to the rural plan, PID number 1516671, and I need a motion for that. Councillor Hatt.
I'll move that council schedule a public hearing of objections to Black's Harbor bylaw Z.2.3 amended to the rural plan on Wednesday, January 24th, 2024 at 6:30 p.m. to be held at the Stella Maris Hall in Black's Harbor.
Great. I need a seconder for that. Councillor Tidd. Question or comment on that motion? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. And that's passed unanimously. Okay. 9C is surplus, is it? Surplus, okay. Next. Surplus assets. Look to council for a motion
Just go ahead there. Give it a little.
to adjust the minimum bid for the surplus items below to $100. Did you want to speak on that?
Yes, Your Worship. So previously we had set some minimum bid numbers. They were like $2,000 or $3,000 for some of the vehicles. So setting it at a minimum of $100 gives us the freedom to move it. We haven't had any interest with any of those units, and the few people that have had interest have said that, you know, they don't want to spend that type of money. So if we set it at $100, we'll go back out and put them back out for any interested offers with these three items.
Okay, I need a motion for that. Councillor Thompson?
I move the council adjust the minimum bid of the surplus items listed below to $100.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor. I need a seconder, Deputy Mayor. Question or comment on the motion? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye, and that's passed unanimously. 10, new business. Let's see. Let me know if I'm forgetting it. I've got 2 different sheets here. Okay, we need a resolution of council to transfer. Sure, buddy. Yeah, go right ahead. Jason's going to do a budget presentation here.
Thank you, Your Worship. So this is the budget for 2024 for Eastern Charlotte. As Councillor Hatt mentioned, this is just year 2 for Eastern Charlotte as we move into 2024. Many of the things that the fiscal budget of 2023, it really didn't share completely across the board all of the expenses. So this would be 2024 is really a step in that direction of properly sharing across the board all the subunits with many of the general government costs for the year. So it's not a full step, but it's as we gradually make our way through the life of Eastern Charlotte and move ahead. So overall, we had assessment of $673,216,300. It's basically a 9.8% increase over the previous year. Our full assessment is $740,015,250. So our overall full assessment, there's about an 8.69 increase over 2023. Our general government budget for 2024 is right now at $6,711,999. So that's a bit of an increase. Overall, when we look at assessments for the 2024 year, let's go next slide. There we go. We see basically an 8.69% increase overall with the assessments, as mentioned, as with our full assessments. So we did see there was some shifting of assessment numbers when we look at St. George Rural and Bonnie River, and really what that was. There were some properties that were in the former LSD of St. George that were really supposed to have been allocated under Second Falls and Bonnie River. This happened really 2022 to 2023. We saw a little of this before when it went the other way, and now it's gone back. So I've had a number of different conversations with the province, and this is where it's settling in. So it's just something to watch for the next year. If suddenly we flip back those properties back into the rural area and out of Second Falls, then I think there's probably additional questions will have to be asked. But I mean, overall, we did see an increase throughout Eastern Charlotte in our full assessments. So when we look at the community funding and equalization grant year over year, and we've looked at what it was in 2022 and 2023 and in 2024. So the 2022 is really accumulated total of the former village and former town, as well as the LSDs, partial values of those LSDs. But if you see year over year, there is a decline. 2022 to 2023, we saw a 10% decline in the community fund, and then we saw another 33% decline from 2023 to 2024. So when you're looking at numbers of about $200,000, it's a very significant loss to revenue for the municipality. And if we just do a comparison of 2022 to 2024, it's a 43% decline. So some of the contributing issues, I guess, with the decline is though we've been made into a rural community, we're still being calculated under the community fund as a rural community, and it's something that this council has requested from the province to be positioned back as a town. I know early with reform, many people didn't want us to be a town. They thought that we would, our taxes would go up. When you are calculated as a rural community and you lose value in the community fund, taxes have no other place but to go up to make up for the loss. So it's a very significant loss, you know, and really we have to be concerned of what 2025 fiscal year would bring as well. So definitely not a great way to start things out with a loss of revenue. So for tax rates, I guess before we get into more tax rates. So we're looking at overall a total operation, I think I had the numbers here, just back there a little bit, just with our expenses of just over 6 million for general fund expenses. So we have to look at how we're coming to that number. A variety of different things were shared this time around. The first 2023 year, that fiscal year, we didn't share everything completely, or the budget that was provided to us wasn't completely seeing all general fund being shared. And neither does 2024. We do see a significant amount of just general government cost, whether it's just, you know, general services being shared across the board, but we still have restrained doing a full share of the general fund. So overall, we do see an increase with the rural areas. We do see decreases with the former municipal areas, and this is something that, you know, just based on reform, we would see the sharing that would happen. Places like the former town of St. George, the costs would be shared across the greater area. The same much with the village of Black Arbor. The reason why we don't see a significant decrease in the village of Black Arbor is just their assessment compared to the town of St. George is about 30% compared to the town of St. George. So we don't really see the larger decreases that we want to see. So, but again, this is the 2024 year would only show that we're sharing a portion of cost, not fully all the cost. So we're still seeing the former municipalities retaining some of the operating expenditures that we've seen in the previous years, as we try to move towards a across the board sharing of cost. So so we can go to the next slide. So I guess one thing with this slide here does sort of show, you know, where all the different subunits are compared to the former municipalities, and we start to see that when we start adding on the 41 cents for roads and pretty much 30 cents for services provided by the province, we start to see that, you know, there's a bit of a lot of the outside areas are all starting to look around $1.10 for an outside rate, and we start to see that, you know, between Black Arbor and St. George, there's still quite a few cents between the two of them, but as the years go on, that as well should start to come together and be a little bit closer. But we do start to see that. The 41 cents, we do know that the province has said over and over that should be closer to 81 cents. And, you know, as far as policing and animal control, as time goes on and we become a town, we will bring back a lot of the control of those services back to the municipality, such as policing and animal control. Next slide. So with our rates, under 2024, we've proposed to increase the industrial and non-residential rate from 1.5 to 1.7. That was a big component of reform, is the province allowing the local governments to determine what that rate would be. So it will bring an additional $208,000 to the municipality. And under the 2024 budget, we have a lot of that earmarked for development, economic development for this region. So, you know, we're looking to sort of, I guess, utilize those funds to hopefully further increase our our assessment as a municipality. Next slide. Just some figures on costing for this year as well. I don't think it's anyone's surprise that, you know, we're seeing an increase of the overall tax rate year over year. But, you know, if you see what's happening with interest rates and just the cost of living, whether it's, you know, fuel and repair, all of these things go up. Our policing cost, oddly enough, in previous years as local municipalities, this is usually the larger issue, is our policing costs. But we're only seeing about a 3% increase. And so that's thankfully been holding steady across the board. But still, overall, we're seeing a total policing cost for Eastern Charlotte just over $2.1 million. So fire cost, we knew that, as with many municipalities, we know that taking on the fire service would see increase in cost, and we do see that. 2023 to 2024, there was a 25%, nearly 25% increase overall. So this is all that what we're seeing in the 2024 year is a full merge of the fire services. We had 3 fire services with Eastern Charlotte. We also see full-time staff that sits there as well. So there's just additional equipment cost across the board with bringing up some of the rural fire halls, bringing those up to sort of a more of a municipal standard. So this was really overall when we look, and again, the fire cost is a shared cost over Eastern Charlotte. So the full Eastern Charlotte does pay for the full fire service. So so overall, yes, that was the largest increase we see of all the departments within Eastern Charlotte. We did see an increase of 17% with just garbage collection. Again, this is one that, you know, where fire, we see an increase for next year. I think that's going to pretty much hold steady. If anything, I think over the next few years, we probably see that just sort of flatline. But this should be a concern for residents, is the collection of garbage. We continue to see this go up each and every year. So it is something that, you know, over the next year that we're going to look at how to combat this increase, 17.68% increase year over year. And we are starting to see that just for garbage collection alone, we're getting close to $600,000 just for collection of garbage.
Your Worship, I was just wondering if Jason could explain why there's 0 in Blacks because of our own for the garbage cost.
Yeah, so there is 0. There's no increase there. It's held steady. Blacks Arbor is the only subunit that offers municipal pickup. So we've been able to maintain the cost of garbage collection in Blacks Arbor, and you know, we don't foresee any large increases in the next couple of years right away. So you know, so that's one of the factors we'll look at in 2024 is whether we can extend that service into St. George. We do have to do something because this in 2024 is the final year for all of these additional year contracts that we had with the contractor for pickup. So, you know, we're looking at trying to at least try to stop a little bit of this increase. And one way to do that would be to introduce municipal pickup within St. George. But overall, if you look at some other areas like Penfield, you still see a 13% increase. Bonner River, Second Falls, though the numbers are a little bit different, you still see a very large increase. So, so yeah, it is something that in the new year in 2024, I'm meeting with other CAOs for this region, and we'll be looking at trying to look at options because it's something that we're all being faced with you know, rising fuel cost and just repairs. However, what separates the municipality or the service commission from any type of contractor is we're not profit, so we don't worry about a bottom line for profits. So really, you know, we just budget to break even, whereas any private contractors are also looking at a profit line too. So landfill would be the Knoll, the Hemlock Knoll, a bit towards Lawrence Station, so that's operated by the Service Commission. So this is just a Service Commission cost as well, but very little increase there, 3%. It's pretty much held steady as well. So just so residents are aware that, if the garbage is collected, we pay somebody, or for the most part, to collect that garbage. It gets weighed at the landfill. There's a cost to bring it into the landfill and dump in it. And so the less trash that we put into the landfill, the less weight and the less cost. So that's why we try to encourage people to please recycle. One thing in 2024 is the recycling will change. Basically, circular materials will be taking over for across the province. So we're interested to see, they should be coming online in about May. So we're interested to see what they'll do. We hope that they're a little bit more hands-on in promoting recycling and help to bring the overall trash that's going into the landfill down. And so that's something to be hopefully optimistic for, because really it was done by the Service Commission, the blue bins. There wasn't a whole lot of promotion for this, but this circular materials, this is their business. So we're looking forward to hopefully seeing some positive changes with our landfill weight. So the Regional Service Commission, pretty much rates have held when we compare it to the previous year. There's a lot of new mandated services that came with reform. If we look at the Service Commission of a few years ago, we would see sort of a landfill, which would be the solid waste. We would see perhaps some cooperative or regional planning, and that would be about it. So we do see a number of new services that are mandated under reform. So overall, we're not seeing an increase year over year. It's holding, it's about 1%, but we're still paying $675,000 to the Service Commission for a lot of different things that they're covering now. Again, these are mandated, and a lot of this is being passed down to the municipality with input from the board member, which would be our mayor. But outside of that, it is limited on what we can do there. So insurance is another big increase. I guess one thing to look at is probably could have pulled the information, was the 2022 when compared to really the information all we would have in 2022 would be the village of Blacks Arbor and the town of St. George. So we probably would only be looking at about $120,000. So now we're up to 230,000 plus. There is an increase there, 7.5% year over year. We are, though, optimistic. We are looking at another option that a lot of municipalities across Canada, just starting here in New Brunswick, are starting to look into in an insurance provider that's just is really focused on municipalities. So this is something that really, it was a large cost increase in 2023. The province was self-insured, so when we took on a lot of new buildings, we took on 3 buildings, a park, there was an increase with covering those new municipal assets as well. So, and it really is insurance companies, when they do a renewal for us, when they look at Eastern Charlotte, they're not really familiar with us. It's maybe somebody in Toronto that is quoting us out, and we look to be a large town to them. A municipality with 4 lagoons and 6, wells, a variety of vehicles, buildings, and really a municipal area that's 30 kilometers by 30 kilometers. So, so that's what it gets priced out as. They don't realize that on the other side that we're technically not a town, we're a rural community today, and for them, there's no difference with that. The assets, the services we provide, we are considered to them to be a sort of a Canadian small to mid-sized town. So insurance does continue to go up. Options are getting less and less. If we look back at the former municipalities, 20, 30 years ago, there was a large selection of insurance providers, even just your local insurance broker. Now it's down to nationally maybe 3 providers that are focused on municipalities. So it becomes very limited. I always think of insurance as almost like fuel. They'll give us a price and say that it's increased and it's something to do with the market in a very far off area. There could be the wildfires in Alberta are impacting our rates here. It could be flooding that's going on in British Columbia. It's impacting our rates. So we're really, it's a condition of right across the country of, what our rate was going to look like. So yeah, it's something that really we must have, but, looking at options is certainly something we're going to explore in 2024. Just with animal control, there's something else, just very small, less than 1% overall increase, something that that is right now sort of focused on by the minister in the outside areas, but in 2024 we'll look at bringing a bylaw with this municipality and hopefully be able to bring some of those numbers and bring that down, because right now they're all quoted out, they're all priced out individually for each of those subunits, so that's something else we're going to be looking at. So as far as budget numbers again for this year, we're looking for a warrant or tax revenue of $5,356,645. That will make up what is needed for the 2024 budget. We do see increases with the tax subunits as I've mentioned. Each of those subunits. Again, we could have foreseen a larger increase in those subunits, but I think the budget that's been presented to council tonight, there are still some restraints on what is being shared. So it's something that we're going to have to just look at over multiple years and not jump into this. As I mentioned, the larger increases for the year being fire for 2024. I just, though it's an increase for the 2024 year, I don't see overall in future years that getting much larger than that. I think that, if anything, with the new fire chief being able to share assets, being able to share equipment, it was sort of something that we had to jump into to ensure that with one of our bylaws that firefighters are adequately being given some sort of a reward for showing up. Certainly it's a service that we all value, but that is the budget presentation, Worship.
Great.
Any questions?
Yeah, what I'll do is I'm going to back up a bit to the new business and the resolution of council, the transfer from the general operating fund to the general operating reserve fund. I need a motion on the floor to transfer $250,000 to the general operating fund to the general operating reserve fund. Councilor Lee.
I move to transfer $250,000 from the general operating fund to the general operating reserve fund.
Great, thank you. And secondary for that would be Councilor McKay. Question or comment on that? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
That's passed unanimously. B is a resolution of council to transfer from the utility operating fund to the utility operating reserve fund. And I need a motion to transfer $5,500 from the utility operating fund to the utility operating reserve fund. Councilor Tipp, second by Councilor Lee. Great, thank you. Question or comment on the motion? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. And that's passed unanimously. Okay. Budget presentation, operating budget. Okay, what I need at this point is a motion. Resolve is the motion is there before you for the general operating budget and warrant. So I need a motion for that. Councilor Lee, you want to read that out?
Be it resolved as per subsection 992 of the Local Governance Act that the sum of $6,537,928.53 be the total revenue and expenses of the general operating budget of the municipality. That sum of $5,356,644.53 be the warrant of the municipality for the 2024 year, and that the tax rate for the municipality be as follows. The council orders and directs the levying by the Minister of Environment and Local Government of said amount on real property liable to taxation under the Assessment Act within the municipality of Eastern Charlotte. Tax Authority, Beaver Harbor would have tax rate of 0.4158. Blacks Harbor, former village, would have a tax rate of 1.4414. Fundy Bay will have a tax rate of 0.3973. Penfield, tax rate would be 0.3789. St. George Rural, 0.3996. St. George Former Town, 1.2748. Second Falls Bonnie River, 0.4035. St. Patrick, 0.3595. The council orders and directs by levying by the Minister of Environment and Local Government of said amount on real property liable to taxation under the Assessment Act within the municipality of Eastern Charlotte.
We have a motion on the floor. I need a seconder for that. Oh, guys, Deputy Mayor. Question or comment on the motion?
I have a comment.
Yeah, go ahead, Councilor Tim.
Can we go back to the slide for our grants? Please. Equalization. So that's a decrease, my math is about $260,000. No matter what political spin or whatever, it's a decrease in our operating budget of $260,000. If we had that $260,000 to put in our budget, a lot of these tax rates would be a lot less and increase what they are now. And that's the comment I would make on that. No matter what political spin, we're down $260,000.
Great. Thank you, Councilor Tim. Any other questions or comments on the motion? If not, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary? And that's passed unanimously. That brings us to the 10C111, the non-residential heavy industrial tax ratio. I need a motion for that tonight. Councilor Lee?
Be it resolved as per subsection 992 of the Local Governance Act that the non-resident heavy industrial tax ratio be 1.70 for the 2024 year.
We have a motion on the floor. I need a seconder for that. Councilor Thompson? Question or comment on the motion? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary, and that's passed unanimously. Utility budget, Blacks Harbor. I need a motion for that tonight. Councilor Hack?
Be it resolved, present under subsection 1174 of the Local Governments Act, the sum of $500,019 and $587, and the total revenue expenses of the utility budget and water sewer operation for the village of the old village of Blacks Harbor for 2024 budget year.
We have a motion on the floor. I need a seconder for that. Councilor Tidd? Question or comment on the motion? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. And that's passed unanimously. Utility budget for St. George. I need a motion on the floor for that. Councilor Dadarakis?
Be it resolved pursuant to subsection 117(4) of the Local Governance Act, the sum of $849,391 is the total revenue and expenses of the utility budget for the water and sewage operations for St. George for the 2024 year.
We have a motion on the floor. I need a seconder for that. Councilor Thompson? Question or comment on the motion? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. And that's passed unanimously. 10C, VI, Water and Sewage Systems Fee and Charges for Blacks Harbor. I need a motion for that tonight. Councilor Hack?
Be it resolved per Village of Blacks Harbor bylaw number 92-59, Schedule A, water sewage rates, the yearly per unit charge of 2024 of water and sewage as follows. 1 unit of water and sewage is $496. A half a unit of water and sewage is $248. 1 unit of sewage only is $292. 1 unit of water only is $292.50. Half a unit of water and sewage only is $140. Water or sewage, is $146.25.
We have a motion on the floor, and you seconder for that. Councillor Thompson? Question or comment on the motion? Yeah, go ahead, Councillor Hatt.
I just want to make sure that we're going to continue with the, if you pay your bill on time, of the 15% discount. And I know it's not in this motion, but I would love to see that opened up to St. George too, if people pay their bills on time.
Yep, so those bylaws are still in effect for Black's Harbor. So in 2024, much like the animal control, the water bylaw will be revised as well in 2024. So, yeah.
Okay, we have motion on the floor and seconder. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. And it's passed unanimously. That brings us to the water and sewage system fees and charges for St. George. Councillor Dederakis, would you like to do that?
Be it resolved per Town of St. George bylaw number 27-C, Schedule A, water and sewage treatment systems fee and charges. The yearly rate for 2024, Schedule A-2024 for water and sewage be as follows. Water, $377, sewage, $169, industrial water, $3.38, industrial sewage, $3.38.
We have motion on the floor. I need a seconder for that. Councillor Hatt? Question or comment on the motion? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Contrary, and that's passed unanimously. Policy 05-2023, the municipal buildings and spaces. I need a motion to approve that policy. Speak on? Yeah, Jason's going to speak on that.
Thank you, Worship. So this is just Policy 05-2023. It's an external use of municipal buildings and spaces. This is just currently in draft form as well. So this policy has just, it talks about the various municipal buildings and their use, especially when it comes to relating to the public use of public spaces.
Okay, I need a motion for that tonight.
Good?
Yeah, go ahead, Councillor.
Okay. I move that council approve and implement the policy 05-2023 municipal building and spaces.
We have a motion on the floor by Councillor Hatt, seconded by Councillor Tidd. Question or comment on the motion? Councillor Dederakis?
Does this need a public hearing, or is this just like, are we voting and it goes through immediately?
Yeah, so this will just be a policy. So it's not a bylaw.
Okay. So we'll be going into effect immediately, that's what you're saying. So what about for the people that are currently using the building? So we're going to issue them a letter? Is that what's going to happen?
Yeah, if there's any changes, we would. Most of the long-term use that we have is they already have signed lease or license of occupation, so they wouldn't be adjusted or anything. So when this policy was made, we took a look at a lot of our existing usage and made sure that there was really any conflict. So anytime there's a conflict, we'll certainly be reaching out to the users.
But all contracts that are existing that we've already approved are different than this.
Any other questions or comments? If not, all those in favor of adopting the policy 05-2023 municipal buildings and spaces signify by saying aye. Contrary, that's passed unanimously. Correspondence tonight. I don't have those correspondence in front of me. Do you have those in front of you? Okay, we have from Fundy High School, we have thank you so much for having us out to the skate. We had the best time ever from the Fundy Middle High School wellness class, and this is signed by most of the class. I also have a letter here from your kindness means so much. Thank you from David and Sheila. It's much appreciated. David Kernathan, I believe. Yeah. Next is public presentation and appearances. Please note under bylaw number EC-01, section 7.1, members of the public shall be entitled to address the council for 5 minutes with no debate from council on matters of municipal jurisdiction. You have the opportunity to go there.
Raymond Hall, 108 Mount Pleasant Road. I've seen a lot of comments on Facebook lately. If people have issues or problems with the council, they should come to council meetings. I'm kind of tired of seeing foolishness on there about what this one or that one did or didn't do. Come here, have your 5 minutes, make a statement, don't be rude or ignorant, just do it. Make yourself informed, not ignorant. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else who'd like to? Okay, going once, twice, three times. At this point, is number 13, statements by member of council. I'm going to go to the deputy mayor first.
I'd just like to, I guess everybody's been waiting for our ATV bylaw. We're waiting for the minister's approval before we can vote on it as part of the Off-Road Vehicle Act. My only ask is to hit your MLA hard and make her help us. Thank you.
Great. Councillor Thompson. Councillor Hatt. Councillor Dedorakis.
Okay. We're in a period where the government has cut our unconditional grants and will continue cutting until they get us where they want us. It goes beyond us, and unfortunately this gap leaves us with some hard choices of how to address it, either by cutting services or increasing taxes, and there isn't much left to cut. Beyond cutting our unconditional grants, the province has offloaded services that we were previously not paying. We are paying significant amounts to the Service Commission for economic development, tourism, public safety, and more, and it's not clear yet what our return on this will be. One of the priorities that this council and the mayor should consider in the upcoming year should be to take a pragmatic look at the value of our investment with the Service Commission and to see whether or not it's a viable expense on our taxpayers. Also, not Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and I'll see you guys in the new year.
Councillor McQuarrie. Councillor Lee. Councillor Tidd. Councillor McKay. Good. That brings us to date and location of the next regular meeting of council is January the 17th, in 3 more weeks, at 7 p.m. right here at Macadavic Place. At this point, I'll look for a motion for adjournment. Councillor McKay. Thank you very much. Thank you.